Minute and a half left in warm-ups. If this tournament's had anything, it's confusion and changes. We thought we were going to be on the other side, had the camera all set up, ready to go over there. Coaches came over and said, nope, not doing the north rink, we'll be on the south rink. So we came to this side. The third, fourth match just finished before us, so not a 3 o'clock start as advertised, or the 4 o'clock that I thought we were going to have this morning during the game. Instead, looking at a 3:15 start, so here we go. We'll take on that Utah Dawgs team that we did see in the first game of this tournament, winning 6-3 in that game. Although that team should be coming in with a bit of momentum. They won 9-0 at 6:45 this morning. So hopefully that early game gets to them, and the Tigers are able to take advantage, carry some momentum of their own, and come home with the hard way. I expect you'll see Landon in the net for this championship matchup. Otherwise, the rest of the lineup is present and accounted for, all healthy, all looking forward to the win. Colton got the crew riled up and ready to go. Now they're going to head over to the coaches for that last minute instruction on what he wants to see to start this thing out right. There's one puck under the net there. And the ref did see it. We'll grab it out from under that back bar. "14 minutes on the board. Players take the ice. Colton does a lapper on the zone. He'll take the opening drop, joined by Preston and AJ for your top line in this championship match. Josh and Jared will be your starting defense for the Tigers. And we're underway. AJ steps up, has that briefly gained the zone, but chipped back out, thrown back in by Colton. Below the goal line, that's Preston pressuring behind the play. AJ comes to that far side and gets a stick to deflect that off. Colton takes over from Preston, throws it back below the goal line. AJ racing the Dawgs defender, comes away with that puck, scoops it to Colton. Colton now having to work below the goal line. And the Dawgs come out on the far side with the puck, send it up toward the blue line and out of the zone. Tigers going to have to work to regroup. Jared grabs the puck, has time, sends it across to Josh. A couple of Tigers tripping over each other at center ice there as Josh tries to send it through to Colton. Utah able to cut it off and bring it into the zone. Josh works from behind. Wraparound attempt doesn't work. Jared there peels it out of the Zamdors and sends it up ice to Colton. AJ comes for a change. Easton hops onto the ice for the Tigers as Preston works to get that. And that will be a tripping call on the Utah Dawgs. Tigers will go on the power play with 12:50 in the first. So early chance for the Tigers with the man advantage. And coach is going to send out that power play 2 unit of AJ, Steven, Miles. Defense is going to be Jax and Cruin. That puck stays where it's at. A bunch of players converge, and that just gets slapped down the ice. That will be an icing, so we'll try it again. Puck drops, that one out to the far boards. Steven goes over and collects it. Skates it below the goal line, tries to make the pass to AJ, but a good stick lift by the Dogs player. So the Tigers will regain the zone. That's Cruin to Miles. Miles sends it wide near side. Cruin held the zone briefly, but bounces out in favor of the Dogs. And a short-handed goal for the Dogs. 1:28 left on that penalty. 12-18, Dogs with the early lead, 0-1. This does mark the first time in this tournament that the Tigers are going to have to play from behind. So we'll see if the boys can keep their heads up, have a little bit of resiliency, and battle back. Still do have the man advantage here. And so now we'll see that power play 1 unit on the ice. Colton going to take the drop with Easton on the near side, Teague on the far side. Josh and Henry will be your defenders as Easton wins that forward. Teague can't collect it, but Henry does skate up and gets it deeper into the zone for the Tigers. Puck battle there. Colton chips it over to Henry. Henry back to Colton on the near side of the ice. Colton has space. He's going to skate in below the goal line. Lots of traffic in front of the net. Colton tried to do it himself there, but the goalie was hugging the post. Collected there and sent back to Henry. Henry back to Easton, I believe. Easton sends it toward the net. There is a rebound there. Puck's loose. Sent to the corners and now around the board. Henry collects. Sent it to Colton center ice. And Colton can't collect it. So a board battle again. Easton working. Colton steps in and sweeps out the puck. Colton with the shot right into the gut of the goalie with 11:21 left in this first period. 32 seconds on the power play for the Tigers, trying to get the equalizer and make it a 1-1 game, currently 0-1 in favor of the Dogs. Teague is going to take the face off this time. And that's sent down the ice. No icing as Landon did have to play that puck. Josh sends it up to Henry. Henry's going with speed. A little bit of a hook there. But he maintains his skates, gets the puck into the far corner. Now brings it around the other side. Henry to Josh. Josh sends that in. Deflection attempt, or a redirect attempt by Teague. Now full strength, so we got 5-on-5 hockey. Held in there. Teague chips it back to the boards. I believe that's Colton working. And that'll be another penalty. Tigers again will go on the power play with 10:34 in the first. So boys have had an opportunity with the extra attacker. See if they can capitalize this time. It's going to be Jax, AJ, Hunter, Cruin. Not too many boys out there right now. Hunter might be the extra. Does look like that power play 2 unit back on the ice. So Steven, AJ, Miles up front, Cruin, Jax on defense. Steven about to take the face off. One back to Cruin. Cruin sends it into traffic. And that'll come into the bench. Be a face-off in the zone for the Tigers. AJ steps up, can't control that puck, so now a battle on the boards with Steven and Miles there. Dawgs come away with it, flip it out of the zone. Curran skating back as the Tigers regroup. Flipped up, Steven gets the puck. AJ's, well, Steven able now. He was pinched off initially, but was released, and so able to go down and get that puck himself below the goal line. Send back up and across the blue line. So the Tigers will regroup again. Curran looking to gain the zone, sends that in behind the net. Miles goes to gather it. It's up that near side board. Steven comes through. And so Steven and Miles working on the boards there. Puck is pinched as we're at 1:06 on the power play. Ref telling the boys to get that worked out. Now AJ's going to step in to help out, and the puck does finally squirt loose for Jax, who holds the zone and stands up for heavy contact. Now AJ working toward the net, poked off his stick, but he's working to regather on these near side boards. Does come away with it. So AJ trying to backhand there was beautiful. And that one does go in on I believe it was AJ on the backhand, Steven on the goal. I am waiting to confirm that we do get a signal for a good goal. Initially, the ref did indicate that it was in fact a good goal, but we'll wait and make sure the faceoff does come to center ice. And they say no goal. So still a 0-1 game, 36 seconds left on the power play. We'll send out that power play 1 unit to finish this 36 seconds. Colton going to take the drop with Teague to his right, Easton to his left. Now Easton taking the face off, so Colton back out on that left wing. Easton wins it over to Colton. Colton tries to poke it to Josh, but the Dawgs player able to step up and get that. We do turn it back the other direction, and Teague gains the zone on the far side. Sent up and out by the Dawgs. 20 seconds on the power play. Josh trying to create some space, and does. Turns it up the other direction. He has help, gains the zone. And that goes off the legs of the player in front of him. Teague's going to gather it at the boards, turns it. No one there, and so that'll come down for an icing. 2 seconds on the power play. 8:36 in the first. Tigers looking to equalize. Onto the ice for the Tigers go Brody, Tate, and Gavin at center. Jax and Marshall are your defensive pair. Jax on the near side, Marshall on the far. That puck does come to center ice, but the Tigers can't collect. So now Marshall looking over his shoulder. He has time. He's going to take it behind the net, survey his options, taps it to Jax. Jax gets it up ice to Brody. That is tapped by the Utah player, so no icing there. We do have it deep in the zone. Utah controlling for now. He has time below the goal line as the Tigers got twisted up just a bit on the pressure, but it works out. Brody working to sweep that out with the help of Tate. That comes up and out of the zone again, so Jack's going to try and create space until the Tigers can regroup. Tigers prevent a zone entry there. And good stick lift by Brody. That is Brody with the stick lift at center ice. Onto the ice for defense is Jared Fresh going to play that puck in the corner. Finishes the contact. Marshall's going to skate around past the Zandor, chip that forward to his line mate. Nice little drop there from Gavin to Brody. Brody's going to dump it and get a change. Josh onto the ice for defense with Jared. Up front, we're going to have Henry and Hunter. So my pair of H names are out there together. And that is Henry passing to Hunter. Hunter gains the zone. That puck is loose. Jared's trying to step to it. Josh goes over to help. That's Hunter on the boards, gets it out to, I'm not sure who that third forward on the ice right now is. Keeping an eye on a number for you as Jared sends that to Josh. Josh winds up and sends that into traffic, doesn't get through to the goalie. Henry working there. I believe it might be Preston out on the ice with this, with the Hunter. Oh, and a goal there. And I believe that was Preston with the goal. So Tigers able to equalize 6:34 in the first period. Preston with that goal. Turned, looked, thought about the centering pass, but saw the opportunity to score and took it. Beautiful top shelf shot, went over the goalie's far side shoulder. So everything we would expect from a championship game so far, back and forth action. Henry's going to take the face off with Easton to his left. And we've got Teague out there on the ice on the right side. Jax and Marshall are your defensemen as the Tigers work in the corner, see if we can't settle into this game and take control as we did in the first matchup against this Utah Dawgs squad. They say that did not come out of the zone, so working to continue to maintain control. We do have a penalty. That one looks like it's going to be a roughing on the Tigers. I believe that's Easton. Was that Easton? I believe that is Easton. I see the number 12 in there in the box for a cross check. So Easton, 2 minutes in the sin bin with 6:12 in the first period. Tigers are going to have to kill off a penalty. To do that, they're sending out AJ and Steven. Back on defense is Jackson Josh. And Dawgs able to win that back. But Tigers do get control. Marshall throws that into the player standing in front of him, now battling to keep the puck there. AJ gets to the point as the Dawgs do get that across the ice. Jack's waiting with Steven. Steven jumps that. So some quick work. Back to the other side now. AJ is going to pressure. Sent low, and Marshall picks up the pressure on the penalty kill. Comes back across ice again. So Tigers doing a good job of just getting this. Only giving that Dawgs squad the cross ice passes there. 119 in this first period, a 1-1 affair. Tigers killing off 5:31 in the first period, 119 left on the penalty. Josh is going to try and finish it out here with Colton, Jared, and Hunter. So Josh has the puck. He has time. Nice little pass there off the boards to Jared. Jared sweeps it up to the point. Hunter skates over and makes that a hard pass. So Josh then collapses on the puck carrier. Hunter sends it back around to the near side. Colton skates. Now Hunter almost across the line. That doesn't get through traffic. Puck loose in front. Colton now going to chip that up the boards, or at least tried to, but couldn't. Pinched off by the Dawgs player. And now does Hunter swap that out of the zone. Dawgs are going to have to regroup with 40 seconds left on the penalty kill for the Tigers. That comes into the zone for an icing, and the Tigers will get a face-off on the far end of the ice with 35 seconds in the power play left to kill. 4:47 left on the clock for the first period. It's going to be Teague and Henry up front. And back for this penalty kill unit is going to be Jackson Marshall. Henry taking the face-off with Teague in front of the net. That puck stays where it's at. A Dawgs player steps up, gathers it, and sends it to his teammate at center ice. They're working on the zone entry, and that'll be an offsides with 24 seconds left on the penalty for the Tigers. One back by Teague. Sent up and out of the zone by Marshall. Henry working along the boards. Teague able to step in and sweep that off the puck carrier's stick. Now backhanded up by Marshall. And so Tigers able to keep the puck going the other direction as we're ticking down to 5 seconds on the penalty kill. Marshall takes the hit, but pops right back up. And now the Tigers are full strength. Easton will join the action after serving his 2-minute penalty for a cross check. So full strength action at 4 minutes left in this period. Teague able to gather the puck and send it up ice. Easton's going to race for it. Hand up for icing. And so we will have a face-off with 3:52. New group onto the ice for the Tigers is going to be Gavin, Tate, and Brody. Your defense is Kruin and Josh. Gavin for the face-off. That gets swept to the side, collected by Josh. Josh takes it behind the net. Now it sends it up for Brody. Brody skates it up and out of the zone. Now across center ice. Working hard on those near side boards. Puck does come back the other direction. Kruin battling the Dawgs player. And the Dawgs player does come away with it. Tries that centering pass, but is behind the streaking centerman. Josh pinches the player out of the play there. Kruin collects and sends up to Brody as we work on another breakout attempt. Nice pass to the center there, but not settled, and so sent back in by the Dawgs. Josh going to work it over at the Zamdors. He's supported by Gavin, so Josh able to turn it, and now goes back the other direction. Sends it up ice, but the Dawgs do send it back into the zone. Josh chips it up to Brody. Brody able to gain the zone. Oh, and that will absolutely be a penalty. So the Tigers will go back on the power play with 2:57 in the first period. This is the third time the Tigers have had a man advantage in this first period. Still looking for their first power play goal. Thought we had one, but the ref said no. So it is power play one unit on the ice for the Tigers. Colton, Easton, Teague, Josh, and Henry. Josh and Henry serving as the defensemen in this arrangement. Easton taking the face-off. Clock operators are working on getting that 2 minutes onto the board, so a little bit of a delay as our volunteers get to work, and there we go. That is one back by the Dawgs, sent around to the far side, and does come all the way out. So the Tigers are going to work to regain the zone. Josh sends that. Henry sends it up to Josh. Josh back to Henry. Henry's got space. He'll take it. Gets it deep into the zone. Cuts in. Misses far side. Now Easton with the puck. Time and space out on the board. Sends it up to Colton. Colton being pressured. Sends it across to Henry. And an effective penalty kill for this Dawgs squad. That will be an icing with 1:24 left on the penalty, 2:20 left in the first period. 1-1 game. Colton in for the faceoff this time. Easton to his left, Teague to his right. Dawgs try and swat that up the boards. Can't, but it held in nicely there by Henry. Sent across. Some good passing there. Teague not able to settle the puck to get a shot. It is a 1-1 game. 2 minutes, 2 minutes exactly left in the first period. 1 minute left on the penalty, on the power play for the Tigers as they'll work to regain the zone here. And that is Colton skating in, sends it to, I believe, Easton, who wasn't quite ready for that pass. The Tigers will try and regain again. That's Josh skating up through center ice. Leaves it for Easton, and they're able to tap that out of the zone. So the Tigers will try and regain again. Is Colton skating it across center ice. Held up at the blue line. Teagues comes in behind. That puck gets rimmed around Kruin onto the ice on defense. So Kruin and Henry on defense here. Teagues got the puck in the corner, turns it to, I believe, Easton. Now back to Teague. And a great little give and go there for the Tigers makes it 2-1 in this first period. 1:08 left in the first period. So that's the first power play goal for the Tigers. That was Easton to, I believe it was Teague to Easton, right back to Teague in front. So a great little give and go setup there for those boys. Puck went 5-hole, gives the Tigers the 2-1 lead in this first period. 1:08 on the clock in the first period. That's kicked forward by AJ. The Dawgs able to collect and send across. Now they'll rim it down around. So to this near side on the ice right now, we do have AJ, Steven, and Miles are your forwards. Marshall and Jax are your defensemen. As that puck gets into Miles' skate, And now Steven able to pinch off the player so that Miles can carry it in. Miles sends it into the glove of the goalie. So 40 seconds left in this first period. Tigers putting on the pressure, trying to extend their 2-1 lead. First goal, for those still getting caught up, first goal was scored by Preston. That made it 1-1. The Dawgs had scored a shorthanded goal early on in one of the Tigers' early power plays. But the Tigers since able to put two on the board, one from Preston, most recent coming from Teague on the power play. Jax has about 25 seconds to get this puck up to the other end of the ice. He sees AJ. AJ sidesteps the contact, goes and regains the puck, sends it up for Steven, who tries to backhand that into the zone. Does. The Dawgs player sends it into AJ, and now out the other side, but stepping to that is Marshall. Marshall to Miles. Miles sends it toward the net, but not through traffic. Collected behind the net by Steven. Steven sends it back to the defenseman, Jack, and a shot on the whistle is saved. Tigers are going to finish that first frame ahead 2-1. I think there were 4 power play opportunities for the Tigers in that period. So certainly getting the man advantage opportunities. Hoping those couple of goals helped the boys settle in a little bit as there was a frantic pace to start this. And I think certainly the power play opportunity, the shorthanded, I think knocked them on their heels for just a few seconds, but able to regain their composure and come back and take care of business. And head into the second, as I said, 2-1 in favor of our Tigers in this championship game. Those last couple games we have played were certainly more decisive and different teams. And so I think the boys have to regroup and remember that this isn't, they're not going to have the time, they're not going to have the space, they're going to really have to earn some of their opportunities today. And so I think it took them a little bit in that first to remember that we are playing a double-A team here, and so we got to be prepared. To start the second period, coach is going to send out Colton, AJ, and Preston. Defense is going to be Josh and Jared. Preston, again, our first goal scorer today. He made it 1-1. Puck's dropped. Utah steps to it, but able to get poked forward. Colton's going to turn it, get in the zone. Tries to sweep that past the defender in front of him, can't. So he's pinched out behind the play. Jared's going to hold the zone here. Chips it back deep. Colton's waiting. He shovels that toward the goalie, and the goalie's going to smother that for a face-off. Tigers sending out Teague, Henry, and Easton. Marshall and Jax on defense. Henry will take the drop right in front of you. Teague's right below you here. That one back to Jax. Jax sends it just wide on that far side. It was there, but just missed. As that's Henry working below the goal. Brings it near side. Miles sends it back to Jax, and Jax sends it back to the net. Now misses wide this side. So he's missed wide far side, wide near side. Give it to him again. I think he's got it dialed in. As Utah breaks the puck out and going to just send that into the zone. Landon gloves it, leaves it for his teammates. We're now going to have to battle below the goal line and work the breakout here. That gets sent up ice. No icing will be called on this one. So Henry there, pressuring the puck carriers. That was Easton, excuse me. As that was then Teague at the blue line, chipping it in, but not quite deep enough. So Utah headed the other direction. Marshall being pesky and getting in the way there. And the pass there didn't work for Utah. Fresh onto the ice is Steven. Nice pass from Teague to Steven. Oh, and Steven just misses high on the backhand. Teague tries to get that over Steven crashes the crease and just can't get his stick on it. That one's going to go down for an icing with 12-16 in the second period of this championship game. 2 goals for the Tigers, 1 goal for the Utah Dawgs. We're going to have Steven taking a face-off with Miles right in front of you. Hunter out on the far side, Wayne Cruin and Josh back on defense. One back by Utah, but Steven's going to pressure and try and keep that puck on the right end of the ice. Hunter pinches off the player there. Miles does scoot over. So Miles and Steven now working on that far side. Miles has the puck on his stick, brings it right in front of you. Miles to Hunter. Hunter tried to get that across, but gathered by the Utah Dawgs. Hunter goes back over and sends the puck into the zone for the Tigers. Sent back up and out of the zone by Utah. Josh looks, sends it up the boards. Miles tries to chip it through the player's feet, can't. And Josh chips it back across to center ice. Utah collects and gains the zone. That's going to be a hit from behind for sure. So Tigers are about to head back onto the power play. 11:29 in the second period. Tigers again on the man advantage. And we will see the return of the power play 1 unit of Teague, Colton, Henry, Easton, and Josh. Hoping to extend the lead. The 2 minutes assessed there are on the board. Colton wins that to the side for Teague. Teague over to Henry. Henry to Josh. Josh gets that to Teague. Teague flips that forward into the goalie. Puck stays loose. Now comes back out to Josh. Josh sends it in, deflected off a defender's stick. Colton has it. Finds Teague. Teague misses near side. And now he's going to have to go gather at the Zam door. That comes up to the point. Josh has it. Tries to find Colton. Does. Colton back to Henry. Henry back to Colton, skips over Colton's stick, so Colton and Henry are going to have to work below the goal line. Now, not Henry, excuse me, Teague. Now, Easton skates and sent out. Josh did touch that, so again, an opportunity created on the power play by the Dawgs, but Landon able to keep it out of the net, and so Colton's going to come with speed. He sends that wide to the far side. Puck settles behind the net, collected by the Dawgs, sent around. Josh is going to step up to that, flips the puck forward to Colton. Colton's skating around to try and create some space, able to get it into the center of the ice. Backhand there doesn't work, but the rebound was left. Just Tigers couldn't get a stick on it. Now Easton trying again. Dawgs step and get a stick on it. That's Henry to... It does come out of the zone for the Tigers. 30 seconds left on this power play. Colton going to collect and turn it back into the zone. Colton leaves it for Teague. Teague leaves it for... I'm not sure. Look, keeping track. I think there were some changes there. That looks like Henry on the ice still. So Henry does get that shot deflected wide side. AJ onto the ice for the Tigers. Going to wrap it around. Nice pass for Miles, who hopped onto the ice. And that is going to kill the penalty. It will go down for an icing. So we are playing some 5-on-5 hockey, 9:26 in the second period. Tigers created some opportunities on that power play, but couldn't find the back of the net as the Dawgs goalie stood tall. Coach is going to send out Gavin, Tate, and Brody. Defense is Marshall and Jax, I do believe. That goes to the boards. Brody turns it to his defenseman, who shoots it into the glove of the waiting goalie. We'll have another face-off. That was Jax on the shot there. Never a bad idea to throw it at the net and see what happens. One again to the side by the Tigers, but collected by Utah. Pressured below the goal line. Brody able to get that. Throws it across the crease. Jax will step up and send that back at the goalie. Rebound left. That's Brody flashing, Tate flashing. And the ref's going to call that one dead, so we'll have another face-off with 9:04 in the second period. Tigers up 2-1. Dawgs send on some fresh skaters for the face-off. This will be Gavin taking it for the Tigers, sends it over to Brody. Brody gets it back, held into the zone. Brody turns, lots of skates in front of him, so now the Dawgs get it, send it across, and Brody able to pick that off, but not control it. Does sweep it to Gavin, who's going to gain the zone, throw it wide of the net, and go and try and get it himself. Chipped up the boards, and now to the center. Marshall collects, sends it. That is deflected up. Tate gets it and sweeps it to the crease. Backhand opportunity there. Still working on the loose puck is Gavin. Now Brody trying to stop the puck carrier. It does come out of the zone. Tigers work a regroup. Jacks to Marshall. Marshall chips it up to Gavin. Gavin's got space. He'll take it up the boards and go get that in the corner. Makes the contact, works through the contact. Tate had it there, but just left behind. Chipped around now. Gavin gets the puck. Swept off his stick by Utah, but held in the zone by Marshall. Marshall able to send it back deep for the Tigers. Tate goes and works it on the other side, loses his skates, but gets the job done briefly. But Utah able to get it out of the zone, going to send it in deep. Landon leaves it behind the net. Collected by the Tigers. They turn it back the other way. That is Marshall with the puck on the far end of the ice. He sends it up and out to Miles, who just stepped onto the ice for the Tigers. And so Gavin, able to get that, takes the contact, and that's going to be sent down. No icing. That'll come around. Marshall, who's going to go get it on the near side boards. Sent back the other direction for Jax. Jax sends it up to Brody, who can't collect that, so Brody's going to have to step to it. Chips it to Jax. Jax trying to get that up and out of the zone. Comes to the blue line. Miles with a great stick to get that out. Chips it through the skater's feet, but can't get around him. Miles having to wait as we do reset, gain the zone. Miles doing some great work on this shift. Fantastic effort. Tries to get it to Hunter. Off his stick, thrown to the near side by Josh so that the Tigers can go work to collect that. Steven onto the ice for the Tigers. Flashes by. That's Hunter putting the stick on. And now Miles there briefly able to tap the puck. Utah trying to keep that man down the ice for the stretch pass, but the Tigers watching for it to keep that from being an option for this Dawgs team. So Hunter coming up the ice for the Tigers. Hunter does get the puck, sweeps it towards center ice. Steven can't get it. Hunter does and throws it in through the 5-hole. That's goal number 3 for the Tigers with 6:18 in the second period. That's going to be Steven assisting Hunter on the 5-hole goal. Good effort goals happening for the Tigers today. The boys are having to work, and they're equal to it. They're willing to go out there and grind a little bit today for this championship game. They're hungry for that hardware. Onto the ice for the Tigers, we are going to see Teague face-off taken there by Henry. Truin back on defense. Easton now with the puck on that far side wing. Unfortunately into the skates of a Dog player, but the Tigers recollect, regroup, gain his own. Henry with speed. Sends that back to Truin. Truin sends it toward the net. And that'll be goal number 4 for the Tigers with 5:55 in the second period. That was a Cruin shot that went in. I know there was another forward that put that to the goal, toward the goal, and then Henry able to pick up the rebound and send that in. So Tigers with a little bit of momentum here in this second period, a couple quick goals. And coach will lead that goal scoring line of Easton, Henry, and Teague on the ice. Dogs win that back. Teague get a pressure, but they do get it up the board. So Jax on defense is going to have to skate into the Tigers zone and send that around. Chipped up the boards by the Tigers. Tried to get it out was Easton, but couldn't. Now does chip off the boards, and they stay held in there, but not this time, as an odd man rush opportunity here. That does go up the side of the cage. Cage kicked off, 5:23 in the second period. Coach is going to send out a new set of legs in Preston, Colton, and AJ. Defense is going to be Josh and Jared. Tigers hoping to keep the momentum going here with a new group of forwards. Colton able to twist and keep that in the zone. Now AJ flex and is going to take it below the goal line. Streaks that across, and it was dangerous. There was an opportunity there as it went through the crease clean. Colton turns, shoots. Dawgs goalie equal to it. So we'll have a face-off with 5:06 in the second period. Again, Tigers up 4-1. AJ steps in there. Colton then able to flip the puck down into the corner. AJ's going to build pressure. Preston comes away with it, sends it at the goal. Now it's there for AJ. If he can get it, that'll be a trip, as he did get his stick into the skates of the defender. And so the Tigers will go on the penalty kill on a tripping penalty, 4:49 in the second period. Dawgs will have an odd man opportunity. Working to kill that penalty is going to be Hunter, Steven, Marshall, and Jax. Utah wins that back. Tries the DDD pass, cut off there by Steven, so they couldn't get it clean. Steven tries to chip that up the boards and out. It does stay in, but Steven's still working, making it hard for this Dawgs team to get an opportunity. That's a backhand shovel that does get past the defender, and so the Dawgs going to have to regroup. 4:23 left in this second period. As that goes down for an icing, Tigers will have a face-off in the right end of the ice for a penalty kill. Coach is going to send out Brody, Henry, Jared, and Josh with 1:29 on the penalty kill for the Tigers. That puck sent to the side. Brody steps to it. Josh sends it back into the zone. Dawgs going to skate behind the goal, below the goal line. Takes a funny bounce, so Brody able to get his stick on it and pin it to the boards a little bit longer and force him to go back the other direction to regroup for the breakout. Sent to center ice finally, and so headed up the other direction, but Jared breaks that up and slows down the progress of the Dawgs. Dawgs finally able to turn and gain the zone with under a minute left on the power play for the Dawgs. That's up off the boards, high in the zone. Cross ice pass. Now down low, they shoot quick, but that just goes wide. And to save there by Landon with 41 seconds left on the penalty, 3:30 left in the second period. Tigers up 4-1 in this championship game. Marshall, Jack's going to go onto the ice for defense. Easton and Teague are going to be your forwards for likely the remainder of this 41-second penalty for the Tigers. Backhand opportunity. Puck does leave shot does leave a rebound, but swept aside eventually. So now battling on those near side boards is Marshall. Utah player can't quite settle it down. Flips it to the center. Not with the. That was Easton able to flip it up. Didn't quite work, but eventually Teague gathers. Gets a great shot off the knob of the goalie there. Opportunity shorthanded for the Tigers with 10 seconds left on the penalty. That's Jax skating with the puck on the far end. Sends it across to Marshall. Marshall now to. That was Easton, and onto the ice for the Tigers is Brody. Tigers are full strength with 2:40 left in the second period. So forwards are Brody, Easton, and Teague. As Jax turns, looks, had time with the Dawgs making a change, and that'll be an offsides as the Dawgs were changing a little bit more. Coach is going to send out Gavin, Tate, Cruin, Josh, and Brody's going to stay. So that line of Brody, Gavin, and Tate on the ice for the Tigers. Josh on defense with Cruin. Gavin going to take the face-off in front of you. Sweeps it aside to Brody, who's able to sweep it into the zone briefly. Now going to have to regroup is Cruin. Sends across for Josh. Josh chips it up to Tate. Tate gets it into the zone, skates through a couple players, but the puck sent the other direction by the Dawgs. Tate now turns on the boards and tries to sweep that in. Josh comes away with it. Sends it across for Gavin. Gavin gains the zone. Sends that off the side of the cage, but going to collect it for Zamdor. Sends it around to the near side here for Tate. Tate turns, looks, centering pass works for Brody, who just couldn't quite find the back of the net there. Josh holds the zone. That takes a funny bounce that the goalie has to sweep aside. Under 2 minutes to play, 1:43 in the second period as the boys battle in the Zamdor area. Brody does come away with the puck. So the boys battling, winning those individual battles today. Brody sweeps that to the net. Now Cruin sends that deep as we're getting a change here. This will be Hunter on the ice for the Tigers. Josh going to try and prevent anything from happening on that other end. Battle in the corner is Cruin. Centering pass there by Utah, but deflected up and now carried out of the zone by Hunter. Hunter trying to work through a handful of skaters. They eventually cut him off and sweep that puck off his stick. Josh is now going to have to work. That centering pass doesn't work, but up at the blue line, they're going to send it back deep into the zone. Another centering attempt and harmless backhand with 42 seconds left in this second period. Landon able to smother that puck for a face-off. Onto the ice for the Tigers is going to be Marshall, Jax, Steven, Miles, and Hunter. Face-off stays where it's at. Steven eventually comes away with it, takes it to the corner, turns it back the other direction. Now having to battle some competition to keep that puck from being anywhere dangerous for the Tigers on that end of the ice as we tick under 30 seconds. Utah comes away with it, but a good stick there behind the goal line keeps it from being too dangerous for the Tigers. Going to send that one over to the far boards. Hunter pressuring the puck carrier. Miles here on the near side to help out. And Miles does briefly have that. Now Miles having to battle as we're under 5 seconds now left in this period. Sent up the boards, and that will do it for period number 2 of this championship affair. 4-1 in favor of the Tigers. Boys found a little bit of jump in that period, built on confidence to open the lead after they were down 0-1. Couple of goals to get into the lead, and then in this period put in 2 more to make it 4-1. We'll see if that confidence can carry them through this third period. Nice to see the boys battle back from adversity, something they haven't had to do yet in this tournament. Today was the first time they played from behind. Didn't phase them one bit. They kept their heads up. They won the battles. They're taking contact today and getting right back up, not hanging their heads over hard hits, just getting out and doing it. Starting this third period is going to be Easton, Teague, and Henry. Back on defense is Josh and Jared. 14 minutes to the championship. Puck one back. Josh looks, chips that up. Can't quite connect with Henry. Josh has to send that back around to Josh. So boys working a breakout here. Sent to Henry. Henry gets it through the skates of the player. Nice little jump step there. Henry with the reverse hit in the corner. Puck does squirt out, and Utah able to get it. Jared able to sweep that puck back deep for the Tigers. So Teague pressuring on this near side. Sent back to the far side. That's Henry working again in the corner. Sweeps it out. Tried to connect with Teague, couldn't, but does now. Oh, and an opportunity there. Henry just couldn't quite turn around and get to it. Henry coming for that change. Colton onto the ice for Henry as Utah gains the zone. Teague able to stick it off the puck carrier's stick. Josh takes the contact. Tigers start coming the other way. Jared has it, backhands, but the waiting Utah player there. Easton gets tangled up, but that's going to be Teague to Colton, and a bunch of Tigers coming for a change as Colton takes that shot, deflected to the near corner onto the ice for the Tigers. But we do have a whistle at 12:38 in this third period. I believe too many men penalty, I believe, is what is getting called here. So I believe the Tigers are headed to the power play. Does look like that was a too many men call. Tigers on the power play with 12:38 in this third period. Ahead 4-1. They'll look to add to it with the man advantage on the ice for the Tigers is Steven, AJ, and can't see who that far side wing is. Your defense is going to be Cruin and Jax. I think they said that far side winger crept in a little bit, so we'll drop again. Steven battles through the pressure there. Puck comes up ice, now sent across to the center. That's Jax on the other side on defense. Steven sends that into the zone for the Tigers. It's Miles on the far side wing. As Steven collects that puck, he's in the corner on his own. Not much pressure, so he'll take the time, but his stick is able to deflect that out. Jax is going to have to race back. Sweeps that across. AJ there. AJ turns up ice, takes the contact, hops back up. Utah sends that into the Tigers zone. Landon going to send that back for Jack to pick up. Jack sends that to AJ, so AJ will try up ice again into the skates of the defender, but collects it himself and goes again. And a falling Miles, unfortunately, loses his skates at the blue line, causes an offsides. 1:10 left on the power play for the Tigers. 11:47 in this third period of a championship match. Tigers ahead 4-1. As we'll see the return of that power play one unit, Colton takes the face off. Easton steps in, gathers the puck, tries to send it at the net, but into the legs of the defender in front of him. Teague there waiting, Easton and Colton in front. Teague slaps at that. Goalie covers briefly, but can't keep it covered. So that's sent to the point for to the blue line for Josh. Josh sends it across to Henry. Henry skates, and that will be a power play goal for the Tigers to make it 5-1. 11:26 in this third period. Tigers extend their lead with the power play goal. Henry on that tally. I believe the assist there was Josh. Might have been Easton on the second assist, but I'm not confident on that. So with the 5-1 score, we'll send out Gavin, Tate, and Brody. On defense, we're going to have Cruin and Jared. The puck one to the side. Tate stepped to it. Couldn't quite get it, but then Gavin able to delay the attackers there so that Tate could skate it into the zone. Flipped up, but not out. Jared holds the blue line and sends it back in for the Tigers. Utah able to collect that and now make a cross-ice pass for a nice breakout. They'll send it into the zone. Comes bouncing back out. Cruin turns, chips it to Brody. Brody sends that across for Tate just out of his reach. But Gavin able to collect behind the play. He holds up as he wasn't going to be able to gain his own clean. Wasn't sure if his teammates were in the zone or not. Good thing he held up as they were. That would have been an offsides for the Tigers. Here, Gavin's going to buy some time, turning around, skating, looking at what his options are. Getting pressured, does get across ice and just lift that into the zone. That's going to be a penalty on Utah. So 10:32 Tigers again onto the power play with the 5-1 lead. We'll see the power play one unit that did just score that 5th goal for the Tigers. It's going to be Colton, Easton, Teague, Henry, and Josh. Colton on the faceoff. That's one back to Josh. He sends it over to Henry. Henry holds that zone, skates the puck in. That's deflected high. They're going to say that was played with a high stick, so the faceoff will come out of the zone with 1:50 on the power play for the Tigers. 10:21 left in this championship affair. Tigers headed in the right direction. That faceoff went back to the corner. Colton, Josh picks up that puck that was sent back. He's going to take his time and look at the best way to get to the other end of the ice. He'll start doing that by skating. Does gain center ice. Now the blue line. Leaves it for Colton. Colton takes a shot, gloved and covered by the goalie for the Utah Dawgs. 1:32 left on the power play. Easton will take the faceoff on this side. Puck stays where it's at. Finally does work it out to Colton. Colton back to Josh. Josh sends it in for Easton. Easton behind the net, gets it to Colton. Colton sends that in. Goalie able to kick save and does cover that up with 1:19 left on the power play for the Tigers. So flashes of action between a handful of faceoffs. Easton will again take the drop. That gets swept toward the goal slowly, so the goalie just sends it behind the net. Now Henry to Josh. Josh chips it over to Colton. Colton centers that, was up high. Turn-in shot there was Teague, just goes over the net. Colton works that to Easton, who loses the handle, so now coming the other direction. Josh steps to the puck carrier. Colton able to sweep that off the boards and is headed back the other direction with 50 seconds left on the power play for the Tigers. Colton gets it deep into the zone, centering pass there. Teague tries to jam it in, and I think that's on the side of the cage, so we'll get another face-off on this power play. 41 seconds left to go on the power play. 9:12 left in this championship match. Tigers ahead, 5-1, looking to lift that hardware in just a few short minutes. Steven going to take the face-off with AJ on his near side. That's Miles, I believe, on the far side there, and Miles below the net. Back on defense, that's Jax. Sends it forward into the legs of the defender, so Bruin having to back check on defense. Utah just throws it into the zone. AJ turns and looks. AJ has time. So he's going to skate up, sends it across to Miles. Miles now to Steven. Steven can't quite collect that pass, but battling on the boards. AJ holds the zone, does not this second attempt. Turns and gains, sends it toward the net, wide near side. Miles sent that up into the crease, and the Tigers just couldn't quite get there on that back side. Jackson sends that. Steven turns and sends it below the goal line. AJ is going to have to work in the near side corner. And Utah working with that man at center ice. They're going to try and get that stretch pass to an unaware defenseman, but the Tigers have been able to cut that. AJ tried to step up there and now does come away with the puck. It's a 2-on-2 opportunity, AJ and Miles, but Utah does have a third defender coming. AJ takes that shot. Goalie had to work a little bit to smother that puck, get it down in front of him and lay on it. 7:58 left in this game. We are playing 5-on-5 hockey at this point. Colton's going to take the face-off with Hunter to his left. Josh behind him on defense with Jack, I believe. So Colton's got that puck, takes it below the goal line, looking for someone in front, finds his wing on the far side, but can't control the puck, so they do come out. That is Preston on the ice for the Tigers, who's working to go get the puck in the corner. Utah tried to throw it back his direction, and he kept him from being able to do so. Now comes to these near side boards. Held there by Josh. Couple Tigers take a tumble. That comes up the boards. Josh steps to it, now sends it across for Preston. Preston, Colton, and Hunter are your forwards right now. Preston takes that shot, misses wide, far side. Josh sends it back in for Colton. Chipped around. Hunter's going to go gather in the far corner. Plenty of pressure there. Preston steps up and helps out. Pass for the Dawgs does miss, so Josh going to collect. Skates and gains the zone for the Tigers. Takes the hit. And so the Dawgs able to get the puck. Trying to chip it up. Hunter there to save the zone for the Tigers. Sends it back in deep. Not Hunter, that was Jack, excuse me. And the puck again coming back toward Jack. But lifted for Cruin, who just came onto the ice for the Tigers. Tipped into the zone by Hunter. Jared joins the action for the Tigers. So your defensemen are Jared and Cruin. Forwards right now are Gavin, Tate, and Hunter. As that comes up, Tate sweeps that back. Hunter chips it up and out of the zone. He'll come for a change. That'll be an offsides with 6:15 left in this championship match. 5-1, Tigers favor. Gavin on the face-off. He's got Brody to his left, Tate to his right. As the ref stares down those wingers behind him that were creeped almost into his back pocket. Utah does gain the zone. Cruin's got some time. Sweeps it over to Jared. Jared working on those AM doors. That's going to be a penalty on the Tigers with 6:04. Tigers going to go on the penalty kill. Jared heads to the box. We do have a timeout on the ice as Jared was sent to the box for a roughing. 6:04 on the clock. No, it was just a 2-minute roughing. 2-minute roughing on Jared. Timeout called by the Dawgs team. They see an opportunity here with a 5-1 score in the third. They're headed to the power play, so hoping to get one back and crawl their way back into this game if at all possible. This would be their chance to do it, although the Tigers have looked really good on their power play, on their penalty kill so far in this match. The fans are doing the wave. Zoom in. Right there. Okay. Ready? Oh, they were fans up top doing the wave now. Here they go. Hey, we got the crowd into it today. The fans are having fun, and why shouldn't they be with their team looking to be headed toward a victory as long as they can take care of these last 6 minutes and 4 seconds. We'll start by killing that penalty with Teague. Who is that? Jax. Henry going to take the face off. Marshall on the far side D. So defense is Jax and Marshall. Teague and Henry are going to be your forwards to try and pull off this 2-minute roughing penalty called on Jared. He was working in the corner, and sometimes those big kids get called on some things that might not go against a smaller player. But Henry able to collect the puck, picks it up the boards himself, and he forces that action there. That puck is going to come across the blue line, and so that'll be an offsides. But solid effort by Henry to get the puck down to the other end of the ice on this penalty kill. Henry takes the face off. Puck stays where it's at as the centers get tied up there. A couple of Dawgs sweep at it and finally do come away with that puck. Sweep it to the far side boards. Marshall's going to go and work. Henry steps, sweeps that back for Teague, who's going to now skate up ice. He's got space in front of him. Teague loses his skates, and now we'll skate 4-on-4 as that was a trip. Oh, and another penalty behind the play. So we might be going 4-on-3 advantage here for the Tigers with 5:33 left in this third period. Looks like a cross check behind the play, a trip ahead of the play. Tigers on the man advantage, trying to add to that lead with the extra man. 4-on-3 hockey. 1:30 left on the Tigers penalty. 2 fresh minutes up for 2 players for the Dawgs. That's going to be Easton, Steven, Josh, and Colton. Josh, one back by Easton, sent back to Josh by Colton. Josh sends to Steven. Steven sends toward the net. Comes around hard to the far side. That will come out of the zone, so the Tigers going to have to regroup. Josh sends that to Steven. Steven gains the zone. He's going to take it up the boards. Now below the goal line, behind the net, turns it back the other direction. Tries to find Colton, but Colton can't quite handle that pass. And chipped out, now the other direction. Tigers going to have to back check here. Josh does have the one-on-one. Landon's going to go ahead and kill that puck right there. 4:57 left in this third period. 53 seconds left on the penalty against the Tigers. 1:24 left on the 2 penalties assessed to the Dawgs. Tigers protecting a 5-1 lead at this minute. That's Easton taking the face off. Puck stays, finally does get swept aside. Steven pressures. Funny bounce off the Zam door. Josh collects, and he's going to skate it up ice. He's got Steven to his right. Leaves the puck for Easton. Easton's going to take it deeper into the zone below the goal line. Tigers taking their time to set this one up. Easton tried to sweep that to Colton, but didn't get the strength on it he wanted to, and so the Dawgs were able to step up to that. Rimmed around, Colton's going to gather with 15 seconds left. Colton loses that puck. Luck to turn and regather as the Tigers head up ice. Couple of changes. AJ onto the ice, as is Jax. Colton turns, looks, sees AJ fresh onto the ice. AJ sends that wide far side. Colton's going to collect. Tigers now full strength, so 5-on-3 as Teague steps onto the ice for the Tigers. 23 seconds left on the penalty, so Tigers 20 seconds to gain the zone and do something here. AJ trying, can't get around that defender in front of him, so lifted down the ice. And that'll be an icing with 10 seconds left on this power play. 3:43 left in this third period. Your Tigers players on the ice right now are AJ, Teague, and Henry. Your defense is Cruin and Jax. It's going to be Henry on the face-off. Puck stays where it's at. Teague stepped in there. Backhand attempt for AJ goes off the back of the cage. Sent back near side for the Tigers. Teague sends that forward. Now we're full strength, 5-on-5 hockey as a couple players just sprung from the box. Jax sends it across to Crew. Crew tips it up the boards. AJ collects, takes the contact, but sends the puck center ice and sends the player that tried to hit him tumbling to the ice. Sent across there, but not able to get through to AJ. Was Henry on that pass. Tigers back checking. AJ goes and lays a hit to make that shot go wide to the far side. Teague working. Now AJ with an opportunity here. Just under 3 minutes. AJ all alone. Oh, and the goalie able to kick that to the side as AJ couldn't sneak it past the goalie's legs at the last minute. AJ backhands it across but can't get it to Teague. Teague does now collect. And as the Tigers look like they're headed to a win here, AJ able to add to the score. That was Teague to AJ to make it 6-1 with 2:35 in this third period. We are going run clock, so it looks like the Tigers are going to take care of business today and head toward lifting that hardware. The long drive home to Colorado Springs will be a heck of a lot shorter, as these boys have been working hard this weekend. I'm sure plenty of tired legs, but they'll lift a lot easier as they head home happy. Tigers on the ice. That does get sent into Landon's glove. He snaps that down, and they're going to keep play going here. Josh takes the puck. Hunter is going to now escape that up and out of the zone. Tigers on the ice are Hunter, Preston, and Miles. So Miles working below the goal line. Now Hunter on the boards, able to send that to the side of the cage. Loose in front, a streaking Miles tries to poke that in. Can't do it as we count to 1:30 on the clock. We'll have a face-off in the far end of the ice. Jack on for defense, joined by Josh. Coach, Johnny, do you want to, when they get all their stuff, do you want to have them come here and we can take a picture from up here? Setting up the post-game photos with the coaches there, so I had to step down from my tower in the corner. 50 seconds left on the run clock. And we have another delayed penalty. It's now 40 seconds and counting, as we'll see what happens here. Tigers will go on a man advantage as we look to finish this game. Under 30 seconds. We'll probably have time for one more puck drop if they do it, but they might just say, "Good game, boys." Now we'll have that face off, or at least they'll line up for it. Preston going to take the drop. He's got Hunter to his near side. Josh on for defense, Jack as well. Counting down now 10 seconds. There's the last face off of the game. Backhand sweep there by Preston goes wide to the far side. And that will do it. The Tigers taking care of business, winning 4 straight this weekend. Only ever really had trouble at the beginning of this game, going down 0-1. And this is the kind of confidence that these boys were looking to build this weekend. Against some gritty teams for sure. Came out, wanted to, certainly played tough and did what they needed to do. So we'll see the best tradition in sports, the handshake line at the end of a championship game in hockey, is unrivaled, in my opinion, as to just the mark of sportsmanship of what we've got going on. Continues all the way up to the highest levels for these boys. And clearly a busy day here at the rink, as his amp driver came out right away after the match, chasing these boys off. But they're still going to have their moment of glory. Boys will go line up for a photo. They're going to do one right here in front of us. Let's go, boys. Hey, right here. Right here. One right there. Yeah, I can. I can send you the one I got. Yeah, we'll post them. Good job, boys. I'm gonna take out my AirPods. Hey, thanks for a great weekend. We'll see you at the next game.